Here, Cake as a pointer.
Good morning, another fine day here.
Apologies. Croaking.
Another fine day here on Jura. Last day on Jura today though, actually. We'll be heading across to Islay later on.
Do a few Ks and then find another beach. So
We found another vibe, holiday vibe.
it's supposed to be 21 degrees today, which for mid-September is pretty impressive in Scotland. So, and blue skies as well. Maybe get a little bit more overcast later on, but
Breakfast with sunglasses on though.
I know. I know. We had a relaxed start because the sun was condensation and dew last night, so everything kind of got a bit damp. So we're just letting the tent dry out before we pack it up, and yeah, how can you not just sit and enjoy this bliss? So we'll head back along to Craig House in search of coffee, and yeah, and then we'll buckle over to Islay on the small ferry.
A wee hop across.
Yeah, and our ferry home is actually from the south of Islay, whereas when we arrived further north on Islay. We're getting a different ferry because of the way the timetables work.
Yeah,
so
out from Port Ellen.
So we get to explore a second island. That's us leaving our little spot, and just a mark where the tent was left behind, and actually picked up a little bit of beach litter as well, so we'll dispose of that. Just a little bit more. Okay, that'll do. Steady, steady, steady. Setting up for a shot. Camera's on the post over there. Lindsay's engaging reverse gear very, very well. Nice. So rather than carrying a tripod, I started to try and come use some technology to use my phone on a little mount. It's magnetic. And that's our ferry.
Back around just a little bit to the left.
So it was the other side of those peaks where we were camping on our first night on Jura. We'd ridden around the island and came up from the other side. We're now headed on to Islay, where we arrived off the ferry from Mountainbike, and we're going to travel about 30 kilometres across to a beach on the west coast. We are on an excursion from the route. as Lindsay spotted a sign for a woolen mill, and she wants some wool for her crochet.
To see, there won't be so many places that.
No, there's not many places now.
Lovely tweeds.
I made that one for the break after. I made that one for Lagavulin Distillery. That one was to celebrate the anniversary of the First World War.
Fantastic.
Lafroig.
One of many standing stones positioned all around these isles. What a absolutely stunning coastal road. We'll be retracing our steps here tomorrow morning, early doors.
Racing it back to the ferry.
We might even have the sun coming up potentially as we're riding, because we've got an early ferry tomorrow, but we don't want to miss out on sleeping on this beach on the west coast.
Yes, I've had a recommendation from a lady who knows.
Island cows there, just in the distance. The Paps of Jura, back over on the Isle of Jura. We're some distance away from there now. Beach run number 2.
A close up of my hairdo.
I think that is pretty special. bikepacking by moonlight.
Yes, good early start achieved.
So the moon has replaced the sun, and the sun very soon is going to replace the moon. So we'll wiggle our way along this little grass track, pick up our last bits and pieces.
You've got the breakfast dates there.
I've got the breakfast dates.
Thank you very much. So, was it worth it then? Pedalling the 30k out?
Yeah, it was worth it. Those waves were awesome last night.
There was a persuasion job required to get you to not just cycle to the ferry terminal and camp there, wasn't there?
There's 30k straight to the ferry terminal, or 30k here and then another 30k to the ferry terminal.
But you've still got that 30k to pedal and you're still happy about it, so...
Yeah, because it's night time now, it's a new adventure. It's a new adventure.
It's not night time, it's just morning.
Well, nighttime in my world. How was your first date? See, it's not too early for gags.
Date me.
Date me, you see. The romance on tour.
Are you wanting to ride for a bit before we have cakeage?
Yes.
Okay. I suppose it is only 5:45, quite early.
I don't know how much you can see these hills in the distance, but that is most of the mountains on the Isle of Jura, and it is spectacular. They seem a lot closer than on the wide angle lens of the GoPro, but that's quite the start to our day.
Reached up to the stars and caught a dream. I held it in my hands as I watched it twinkling, and anything felt possible for me.
Very sorry to disturb you, sheeps.
And anything is possible. You just have to believe it.
So what's the goodies on the handlebar breakfast this morning then?
We changed from the porridge.
Some cakes and fruits and some
Some
oatcakes.
iron cheesy oatcakes.
Very nice. And just zooming nose whilst enjoying that last of that sunrise. Quite. Then we're going to head round this loch here, cake as a pointer, and then over that bit, and then all the way down there to Port Ellen, which is around about here, and get the ferry from there back to
Kennaquhaig on the west coast.
Oh.
Don't give up, keep your head up, and you just might reach the stars and hold them in your hands. This is your moment to hold them in your hands, 'cause anything's possible. Life seemed to get harder with every step. The dream that I
We might be seeing some of these geese in Fife soon.
in my hands. But that's when
more coming in.
started to believe that anything is possible. You just have to believe it enough.
We can see the sea.
Keep your head up and you just might reach the stars and hold them in your hands.
We made it before the ferry, so time to find a little spot to rest. Look forward to a cooked breakfast on board.
squares with that much wool left over.
Well, that was a fantastic little trip out to Jura and Islay. Thank you very much to everybody who's got this far in the video, and for all those who dropped a little like or a comment on it. It's much appreciated. We have a backlog of footage to edit from our week-long trip around Scotland, and also a trip at the end of last year across in the French and Italian Alps. So if you're subscribed, you'll be seeing those popping up in your feed sometime soon across the Christmas and winter season. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.